Phantom Ruins dungeon farming becomes more efficient when players treat it as part of a long-term routine rather than a single objective. Repeated exposure to enemy patterns and room layouts improves decision-making and reduces clear time. Over time, this familiarity lowers resource consumption and increases overall material gain, which is important when targeting magical monster plate crafting. Enemy composition inside Phantom Ruins is designed to test both survivability and sustained damage. Players who adjust their positioning and skill usage based on enemy behavior clear rooms more smoothly. This reduces unnecessary downtime and allows more runs within the same play session, improving farming efficiency without increasing difficulty. Magical monster plate materials obtained from Phantom Ruins are intended to be gathered gradually. The dungeon rewards consistency rather than speed, making it ideal for players who prefer stable progress. By repeating clears over several days, players accumulate enough materials to craft plates without relying on luck-based drops. Potion management is an important factor when farming Phantom Ruins. Efficient players aim to minimize potion usage by learning enemy attack timings and positioning carefully. This reduces costs and ensures longer farming sessions, especially for players with limited daily playtime. Magical monster plates crafted from Phantom Ruins materials provide steady stat improvements rather than sudden power spikes. These gradual gains support balanced progression and reduce reliance on temporary buffs. Over time, the accumulated bonuses become noticeable across multiple types of content. Integrating Phantom Ruins runs into a daily routine helps maintain progression momentum. Even a small number of consistent clears contributes meaningfully to long-term goals. This approach suits both casual and dedicated players by emphasizing sustainability over intensity. Monster book progress continues naturally during Phantom Ruins farming. Enemies defeated inside the dungeon contribute to registration, unlocking passive bonuses over time. This ensures that dungeon farming supports multiple systems simultaneously, increasing the overall value of each run. Crafting magical monster plates should align with material income rather than impatience. Waiting until enough materials are collected prevents shortages and supports flexible resource management. This approach keeps progression smooth and avoids unnecessary setbacks. As players grow stronger, Phantom Ruins becomes easier to clear, further improving efficiency. This creates a positive progression loop where increased power leads to faster farming, which then supports additional crafting and long-term growth. Phantom Ruins rewards players who understand dungeon flow rather than rushing blindly. Knowing when to engage enemies and when to reposition reduces incoming damage and shortens encounters. This steady rhythm helps maintain focus during long farming sessions, which is important when aiming to collect enough materials for magical monster plate crafting. Dungeon difficulty scales more with preparation than raw power. Proper gear setup, basic monster plates, and balanced stats allow smoother clears even at moderate levels. This makes Phantom Ruins accessible for consistent farming without forcing players to wait for late-game equipment upgrades. Magical monster plate materials gained from Phantom Ruins are designed to complement crafting systems. Instead of relying on random enhancement outcomes, players can work toward guaranteed progress. This reliability makes dungeon farming feel rewarding, even during sessions with average drop rates. Time management plays a major role in Phantom Ruins' efficiency. Short but regular farming sessions often outperform long, exhausting runs. By pacing clears properly, players avoid burnout while steadily accumulating crafting resources needed for magical plate synthesis. Skill rotation optimization improves dungeon performance over time. Repeated Phantom Ruins runs teach players which abilities provide the best balance between damage and survivability. This understanding minimizes mistakes and increases clear consistency across multiple dungeon attempts. Phantom Ruins also supports silver and resource stability. While the main goal may be magical monster plates, secondary drops contribute to overall economy management. This helps fund other upgrades without requiring separate farming routes. Monster behavior inside Phantom Ruins encourages adaptive play. Some enemies punish overextension, while others reward careful timing. Learning these patterns enhances survivability and reduces potion dependency during extended farming sessions. Crafting magical monster plates becomes more satisfying when materials are gathered through effort rather than shortcuts. Each completed plate represents accumulated dungeon knowledge and persistence, reinforcing long-term progression systems within the game. Dungeon repetition strengthens muscle memory and reaction timing. As clears become smoother, players naturally improve performance in other PvE activities. This cross-benefit makes Phantom Ruins farming more valuable than it appears on the surface. Over time, Phantom Ruins transitions from a challenge into a reliable farming route. This shift marks a key progression milestone, where dungeon content becomes a dependable source of growth rather than a barrier. As Phantom Ruins farming continues, players begin to recognize efficiency patterns that reduce wasted movement. Knowing exact enemy spawn points and optimal paths minimizes downtime between encounters. This allows more runs per session without increasing fatigue, which is essential for long-term magical monster plate farming. Consistency matters more than speed when farming Phantom Ruins. Rushing clears often leads to mistakes that slow overall progress. A controlled pace ensures stable performance and prevents unnecessary deaths that disrupt engine flow and resource usage. Magical monster plate progress benefits from cumulative farming rather than luck-based bursts. Each dungeon run adds incremental value, reinforcing a progression mindset focused on sustainability. This approach aligns well with players who prefer predictable growth over high-risk attempts. Equipment durability and potion consumption become manageable with experience. As players refine their approach, resource costs decrease naturally. This efficiency turns Phantom Ruins into a low-maintenance dungeon suitable for daily or weekly farming routines. Dungeon awareness improves positioning during elite encounters. By learning enemy attack ranges and casting delays, players reduce incoming damage while maintaining steady DPS. This knowledge compounds over time, leading to smoother and safer dungeon clears. Phantom Ruins also trains patience, an overlooked skill in progression-focused gameplay. Accepting average drops while maintaining consistency prevents frustration. This mindset is crucial when farming crafting materials that require multiple sessions to complete. Magical monster plate crafting encourages planning beyond immediate gains. Players often store materials until optimal synthesis conditions are met. This delayed gratification strategy improves overall success rates and minimizes wasted resources. Dungeon repetition naturally improves reaction time. As patterns become familiar, players respond instinctively rather than reactively. This improvement carries over into other content, including bosses and time-limited activities. Over long sessions, Phantom Ruins becomes less a challenge and more about mastery. Players stop reacting to threats and start anticipating them. This shift marks true progression within the dungeon system. Eventually, Phantom Ruins integrates seamlessly into a broader gameplay loop. Farming, crafting, and upgrading flow together without friction. This harmony is what transforms routine dungeon runs into meaningful long-term advancement. As players deepen their Phantom Ruins routine, attention naturally shifts toward minimizing error margins. Small adjustments in positioning, timing, and pull management significantly affect long-term efficiency. These refinements may seem minor, but over dozens of dungeon runs they save time, resources, and mental focus. Enemy grouping inside Phantom Ruins plays a major role in clear stability. Pulling manageable packs instead of forcing large engagements keeps fights controlled. This approach reduces sudden damage spikes and ensures consistent progress throughout extended farming sessions. Magical monster plate farming rewards players who respect dungeon mechanics. Ignoring patterns often leads to unnecessary setbacks. Understanding when to disengage, reposition, or delay attacks improves survivability and keeps runs efficient without increasing stress. Long dungeon sessions require mental endurance. Phantom Ruins encourages a calm, repeatable rhythm that supports sustained focus. This makes it ideal for players who prefer methodical progression rather than high-pressure gameplay loops. Drop expectations should remain realistic during magical monster plate material farming. Not every run will feel rewarding, but consistency ensures long-term results. Maintaining this perspective helps prevent burnout and keeps progression steady. Dungeon mastery also improves decision-making outside Phantom Ruins. Players begin prioritizing upgrades that enhance survivability and efficiency rather than short-term damage spikes. This balanced approach strengthens overall account development. Phantom Ruins farming naturally supports strategic resource storage. Materials gathered over time allow players to craft plates when conditions are optimal, reducing risk and increasing synthesis success rates. Repeated dungeon exposure strengthens confidence. Familiarity removes hesitation, allowing smoother transitions between combat phases. This confidence improves performance across all PvE content, not just Phantom Ruins. As magical monster plates accumulate, their impact becomes noticeable. Small stat increases stack into meaningful power growth, reinforcing the value of patient, consistent dungeon farming over rushed alternatives. Eventually, Phantom Ruins becomes a foundational activity rather than optional content. Its rewards integrate deeply into progression systems, making it a reliable pillar for long-term character growth.